Welcome to Market Boys, guys, with Edmundo, Sapco, and Andres.
How's it going?
So we got some interesting news today. Some stuff going on.
Oh yeah, well,
We start with the same old, right? So what's going on with the last month?
Something
he's gonna
interesting.
enlighten us.
I had during the week a couple of comments from friends and acquaintances and some people that are not very friendly.
Okay.
Basically criticizing the war against Iran, right? I understand, of course, war is an awful business. Nobody wants war.
Indeed.
Sure.
But they were saying about how we attack a sovereign state, violating international right. So in order to equalize the field, I brought a list of reasons. Here I have some. See, for example, the current regime, yes, I said regime, not government, regime. The current Islamic regime of Iran started in 1979 by kidnapping Americans. And they're holding hostage for 444 days. Deprived of food sometimes water, psychological torture, you can call it. I have even more, because I have the data over here. I don't want that even says, oh, but you're talking shit. Okay. So, U.S. Embassy hostage crisis, Tehran, 52 Americans held for 444 days. 1983, Beirut barracks. I don't know if you remember, I was alive at that time, and I was alive.
Yeah,
I know.
That means you're old.
You're with us?
I get
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you're-
I probably wasn't here,
the
but
USA,
Yeah, there you go.
The USA, Italy, and France deployed troops in southern Lebanon, right, up to from southern Lebanon to Beirut, as a peace force to avoid the conflict from the recent 1982 Israeli war. So this gentleman bombed the Beirut barracks, killing 241 Marines. Not one, not two, 241. And 60 French paratroopers. Not that the French care. We know that their specialty is surrendering. So doesn't matter. 1983, U.S. Embassy bombing in Beirut, 63 kills. 1992, Israel Embassy bombing Argentina, 29 kills. I saw that. I've been there. 1994, AMIA, just the Jewish Association in Argentina to Buenos Aires, 85 killed. 1996, Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia, 19 U.S. servicemen dead. 2005, the assassination of Rafik Hariri, Prime Minister of Lebanon. He had a project to expel Hezbollah from Beirut. Well, he was dead. He died in his car. Terrible. 2007, Karbala attack. 5 U.S. soldiers dead. 2011, the assassination plot in Washington, D.C., which was foiled. 2012, Burgas, Bulgaria. There was a bus, they killed 6 people. 2020, since then, we have rockets flying here and there. They attack a couple of refineries in Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar, etc., etc., etc.
Do you went over the ones that when the women start protesting in Iran, they went out like 400 and something women, and the snipers start shooting them?
Yeah, that is a sensitive topic, but I will take another angle. These are foreign acts of aggression, directly or sponsored with money, training, weapons, done by Iran.
Yeah.
So every one of these here, plus the supply of improvised explosive devices to the insurgent forces in Iraq that kills a big number of American servicemen and women, provided by Iran. All of those are international law violations. So when you talk about international law violations, I have to agree with you. Yes, we are violating international law. Once, twice, 3 times, I don't know. But we are not talking about fighting saints. We are not fighting Saint Peter or the San Gabriel Archangel. Okay? Now, your point. It is estimated that in the last protest, they killed between 30 to 45,000 people.
Oh, yeah. In December, yeah.
Since 1979 to around today, between 3,000 and 4,000 homosexuals, yeah, I said homosexuals, gay people, they were hung by the neck until die from cranes. What is the sin they committed? Being gay.
Yes.
All right? There are no more Jewish community in Iran. Was the second Jewish community outside of Israel, was in Iran, the Middle East. Zoroastrians, Christians, they eradicate. There's no tolerance. Those of you who are worried about the tolerance, my rights, oh, you hurt my feeling. Well, that kind of people. Well, think about this and what Andres said. But that is internal affairs, as they say. It's our internal affairs. That's why I didn't name them first. Any other thing, gentlemen?
What was it? Women could dress freely up until 1979 too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Correct.
Right. So that was a major turning point for, psychological impact on the women there. So,
well, the cultural war was impressive. Even they changed the flag. They keep the traditional colors of Iran, Persia, if you want, but they replaced the lion and the sun by Allahu Akbar in the middle in Arabic. Iranians, they speak Farsi. They don't speak Arabic. They are not Arabs. And even the flag, they have inscriptions in Arabic. So the clergy is changing more than just the bathing suit.
And very educated people, very good in business,
Amazing.
Very well prepared.
Amazing.
And this is just a clear example of what bad policy and selling that the left narrative can do to a country over time, right?
Oh,
it doesn't matter how prepared you are, right, or how good intellectually you are, and how much money, because it's a wealthy country, but it's being run down to the floor because instead of investing in the community, investing in the people, they just use every single cent to weaponize. So it's
exactly. So when you beat down the people and their morale,
well, that's we can always do the same thing. The economic system, bad economic system, capital that creates rich people, creates strong middle classes. Capital flew out, so capital cannot produce.
But they still have capital. They still have. They produce oil, crazy.
No, what
but
I'm talking about,
every single cent that they get, they just put it on.
What I'm talking
on the
about is
bad hands.
investment. In that kind of system, you don't want to invest. I have you know what I do for a living, right? Mm-hmm. So I have clients that are really defenders of this regime, and I tell them, why we don't put...
How many of them are Iranians? How many of them are Iranians?
That's a funny point. None.
Okay,
and the funny point is that I tell them, why we don't invest in Iran? No, but if you are really defending these people...
It's called hypocrisy.
I didn't want to use that word, but if you insist...
Yeah,
be my
it's
guest.
hypocrisy, right? It's as simple as that. Because I have friends that are Iranian, right?
Yeah.
Very successful people. And ask them if they want to go back. Ask them if they like the regime. It's unanimous. They say, no.
No way.
Right? No way. Because they live
my
it.
doctor used to be Iranian, great guy, and I know a couple of acquaintances.
All of them that I know that are in the States, they're all mega successful.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. They're all doctors, business people, very educated. They do very well. They're really good in business. I'm impressed when I see that the methodology. They do very well.
But that's the point. There's no capital to invest in Iran to make Iran.
Well, there's no capital. There is not a system, because it's a system that is designed based on hatred.
Well, that people that you know, that I know, they left Iran. They went out of Iran. I have a very good friend, Iranian, and she has to abandon Iran. So the brilliant people, the entrepreneurs, are out.
Right. The ones that
And
had the
with
means
them,
to get out of
the
there, for
little
one.
monies or the
Yep.
big monies they have. So who remains?
The have-nots. And the rich and the super rich. Of course, that's controlling the outcome of the economy and,
Yeah.
the regime, if you will. Right?
So economically speaking, a disaster. Culturally speaking, well, that's the point with radical changes in directions in the countries. Sometimes you cannot come back, especially if you don't have elections, free elections. So it's very hard to come back. One of the great things about electing our leaders democratically in a republic is that we can come back. We may like libertarians, Democrats, Republicans, socialists, doesn't matter. But the great thing about Republican democracy is that we can come back. There is a mistake, we can correct it. In totalitarian regimes, there is no turning back.
Yeah.
There you go. There is one true about our show. The old guy likes to talk. That's for sure.
Indeed. Great insight. Great insight.
Good
though.
stuff, right? So what else we got, Ed?
No, Subco was commenting about something interesting. That worries all of you, and especially some of you, which is Social Security.
Social Security is one of them, and layoffs, huge layoffs that are happening. But to touch
Okay.
on the Social Security, seems like as if we are running out of money, right? So
We are
there is
running out of money.
well for
Since
Social Security.
Since I was a teenager.
Yeah, I've been in the business for over 20 years, and I've been hearing that same story.
It's over and over again,
Yeah.
right? It's like, where's the money going, and why are we talking about running out of money for Social Security, right? And this is a huge impact because people want their retirement, and I mean, it's not much from the get go. So to
Yeah.
lose it,
Well, but there is a misconception here.
Yeah.
And that has to do with the general ignorance. Yes, you will be mad with me. You call me a fascist, a warmonger. Call me whatever you want. But the reality is this.
I think that somebody hurt your feelings, Ed. You keep going back to that.
No, well,
people call me
they are
fascist.
not. They are not. They are not. That is not simply not true. But this is the funny thing.
All right, go
The people that call me that, I ask them, do you know the Social Security law, what it says, at least a synthesis of what is the law? Retirement. It's not a retirement. It's a tax.
Yeah.
My friends, it's a tax. First. Second. It is not, let me say it again, it is not retirement. It's a supplement. It was created in 1935 by the Roosevelt administration.
Yes.
As a supplement when the expectancy of living was around 65 years old. So in theory, that will help you for a couple of years. Help, supplement, not retirement. So there is a big confusion here. Thirdly, the system was deemed to fail from the start because it's like a pot in which everybody puts money and retirees take the money out. But how many people you need to sustain the system viable?
Well, you need the whole population.
It's at least 7 to 1.
And how many we have now?
It's like 3 to 4.
3 to 1?
3 to 1, something like that.
You want it to run?
Yeah. I mean, it's different. So, like, I appreciate the romantic, what's it called? The romantic enthusiasm of El Mundo, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he got a good point. It was created in 1935, and the idea was to supplement income and to help people. Because before that, there was no retirement. You work until you die, period.
Yeah.
Right?
Or you take
no,
control
wait.
of your own your future.
Yes, sir.
Right? So that's it. You acquire assets, you buy land, you cultivate that land, right? You turn your family into a business, and you take control of your own future.
This kind
Now-
of programs kills the individual initiative to save. Saving is an activity that is slowly eroded by the false security that the governments put on you. In some countries, there are retirement programs. Yes? Here we have Social Security, which is supplement. So, my friends, as always, we talk in our seminars, classes, client face to face. Save at least 10% of your income. And then you will not have to depend on Social Security.
Exactly.
But of course, people remember that when they are in the high 50s. Oh, I didn't say that.
Well, I found that very interesting because, I mean, over 65% of retirees depend on Social Security, you know? And I have clients that they are wealthy. And guess where the biggest income comes from?
Social Security.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not their investments, Social Security.
Indeed.
So just to give you some numbers. So right now there are around 68 million beneficiaries on Social Security. Okay. 1.38 trillion were paid on total benefits last year.
1 point
$1.38 trillion.
is, let's say, like we said, 20% of the national budget.
Kind of. 183 million workers and earnings covered by Social Security. 183 million. Okay. $1.23 trillion that were paid in payroll taxes to our Social Security. 51 billion in income from taxation of benefits came out of that. And 67 billion is the interest on Social Security trust to fund the assets. So that being said, is there enough funds? Yes. Is it going to go away? No. Now, there is a schedule to 2034 where there is enough funds, per se, to supplement or to pay 70% of the payments. So it'll be a cut of 30%, per se. Now, obviously, this administration has done some changes, obviously helping on cutting the expenses. The administration helps a lot.
You're a Trumper.
I'm not going into politics. I'm talking about facts, right? So it
The
just
state of the economy.
Correct.
And Social Security.
right. So it's just covering the excess on expense, right, or maluse, waste and abuse, which you can see like there was tons of that they will find out. People were getting paid.
So you don't
they were alive for
consider-
like 200 years.
Wait. So you don't consider helping trans programs in Croatia or in Angola to be important?
I'm not talking about those, Ev.
No,
I don't care
because
about those.
They kill those.
Croatia. Don't look,
Yeah.
let's not talk
Or
about
to
Croatia.
sponsor LGBT theater in
I don't
Colombia.
agree with none of those things. But
That's
what
where
I'm
people
talking
go hide their
about
money,
is
isn't it?
specifically on Social Security benefits that are being paid for, right? Social Security benefits that they were being paid for people that they were already dead. So
Right.
like waste and abuse,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I
Right.
see
So
your point.
I mean, like, I'm specific about Social Security benefits, right? So because I believe that the systems are put in place for a good cause.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right, men always find a way, right, to corrupt it.
Indeed.
That's the bottom line.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's not that the Social Security is bad. I think it's a great system, right? It helps.
I don't agree with you.
Yeah,
What was
we
the
can
bottom
agree on
line?
disagree, right?
What was the bottom line?
Right, correct. Because it helps, right? Because at some point, Ed, you're gonna collect.
Of course.
All right, there you
Why
go.
not? If I pay taxes.
There we
the,
go.
The goal is to it's there, right? But we shouldn't have to rely on it. We have
That's
to
the
take
point.
control over our own
If
future.
if you read the law and the modifications, it's very clear about it.
Our
You don't
own
have to rely on
retirement.
it. What I don't agree with you is in the way the system was designed, and there was a big chance during George W. Bush, and the government proposed a revamp of the system. Instead of being a pot in which everybody takes money from wherever monies enter in, to make individual accounts. That is from 2005 or 6, I think. Of course, nothing happened because half of the Republican Party was against it and the Democratic Party was against it. It's okay, politics happen. But basically the reform was planning to make every monies that we put into the Social Security to go in personal accounts like IRA style if you want, to be invested, market style investment. And if you see what happened in the market since 2006 up to today, you will see that will be much more beneficial for everybody. The second part of the project was very simple. Whoever is receiving Social Security now, at that time, or close to, the government will warranty the benefit until the day they die. The plan was very sensible and was something that was done by the Swiss, by the Chileans, with success in Sweden.
Norwegians.
Norwegians is very successful, but it didn't have traction here in America.
You know where they came from, right? Their system, their economic system that they use.
For retirement from the Roman legions.
No, the formula or the economic system that they use for retirement that they adopted in Chile, in Switzerland, Norway.
Tell me.
It was invented in the United States.
Oh, yes, yes. No, yeah,
But
of course.
they didn't want to adopt it.
Exactly.
So other countries actually adopted it.
With
right?
very, very successful.
And it's a
outcomes.
very successful formula.
Yes.
That is correct. So there's two things. So the Social Security by itself, it's a good system, right? Now, how it's run or administered,
I don't agree with you
it's
because the
horrible.
system is flawed.
It's horrible, right? No, it's because you're talking about politics.
No, I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about the mechanics of the system. The system, you
And
have
who
a big
established
pot,
the mechanics of the system?
the law,
And who established the law?
the Congress,
No, before that. And who runs the Congress?
people elected by the people.
Politicians.
Politicians elected by us.
There we go. So
We are responsible. Yes, it's time that everybody here assume responsibility. We are responsible, okay? We vote these people. Good
That's
people,
what I
bad
say.
people. We vote this. So if you have a pot in which everybody puts money and everybody can take money when retires, there is a flaw because now we don't have enough workers to satisfy the system. The greatest retirement system in the history of humankind, in my humble opinion, is not the distribution system, but the accumulation system that was invented by the Romans. When you serve in the Roman army, the legions of the Roman Empire, the moment you enter service, you have a box with your name. And they put a percentage of your salary, typically 20-25%, in that little box for as many years as you served, typically 20. After 20 years of service in the Roman army, they give you the manumitum, which is called your freedom, and they give you the box. And guess what? What is around 20% of your salary during 20 years? In gold, of course. Inflation was unknown. So you have your gold, you received it. As of today, depends on the economic calculations you read, is close to $250,000 of today. And $250,000 is not a mystery. It can generate good amount of money per year until you die. Plus, the Roman state, the emperor, give you land for you to work on. In other words, there you have a accumulation system. All modern accumulation systems derive from that idea. The
So
system that we
what you're
run
talking
right now is not
about,
that.
what you're talking about is what the Roman has. It's actually annuities, and it started with Tintin, because you say the
You were
Romans.
thinking what I was thinking.
So
I wanted to
the
blurt it out.
Romans, right? It was called Tintin, right? Back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, they're giving these monies, right? Where they got the money from?
Salary.
Yeah, okay, but where the government got the money to give?
Now they have to give solid.
But where they got the money, they have to actually use the banking system
Right.
and use the
To
debt
accumulate,
system to accumulate. And actually in France,
Well,
they
the Romans
adopted
didn't
that.
have banking system, neither monetary system, except the printing of coins in silver and gold. So there was no banking. The banking system was invented in the Renaissance. Basically, the banking system as we know it today.
There were banking systems on the Jesus times.
They were not organized. They were what we call today sharks. They were people that loan money for an
is
interest.
true. This is
Yes,
true.
but there was no a system in place, a connection between finances, people, no regulations, no legal frames. Was basically private contracts between the ones and the others. Basically, the governments sustained themselves with taxation, debt, but the debt was private, was never about banking systems, right? In fact, the French was famous, again, the French. These people
because the
that-
commerce people, right, we also manage what? Money. Correct? So it was the trade
yeah,
that
that's
it
right.
came with
Yes.
it. And with that trade, right, sometimes you need funds to acquire that. You need funds
Always.
to go to war.
Indeed.
Right?
A lot of
People
it.
will invest on that. And there were some earnings per se out of war. They have the slavery system. That's how Rome grew. But I think that we deviated from the point. So
Yeah, there
the
is
point
a-
was the Tinton system, right? Which actually is an accumulation of funds, right? Everybody puts in a pot. Where you want to call it banking system? Everybody puts a pot.
Be
Again,
careful.
wait.
But it's not like that. The Romans put one box per soldier. There was no pot. Don't confuse our friends here.
Sure.
Social
How many
Security is a
Romans
big
came
pot.
back, Ed?
Whoever came back, and if you don't came back, that money goes to your family.
Sure. All right.
That box.
So we're a
goes
little
to
bit
your
more
family.
advanced today.
Correct.
Right?
Something like that. Something like that. But anyway, so it's the Tinton place, right? Which is just a structured annuity. It's exactly what it was, right? They are the ones who actually created it.
Exactly.
And over times, right, it evolved. France, for example, a way that King, I think Louis the 13, something like that, they usually use that same system to fund wars and to pay the soldiers as well. So it's interesting because this system is very, very old. It's nothing that the United States invented it, no. Or the Europeans, it's been there for a long time. How evolved or interest is paid, it's different, right? But for example, in Social Security in the United States, they're based on two things. Number one is PIA, right? Which is your private insurance amount. And number two is your FRA, which is your full retirement age, right? And over time, what is happening is just as people are living longer, and in order to sustain it, they just keep stretching the FRA, right? Years ago it was 62,
The age of
now it's
retirement,
65, now
that's
it's
for you.
67, right? And that's when pretty much you can collect like 100% of that check. And it comes with a lot of different benefits, whether you're a widow, whether you're divorced, right? There's many different ways that you can collect on your Social Security and you can maximize those benefits.
And it's so many ways that they've set up their soldiers, just like how we do it today, but a little bit more on the advanced side. They make sure that they have income, right? Reoccurring income. They make sure that they set them up in some sort of program where they can have housing, right, for the rest of their life, if you will, right?
And
And
you're
they're
talking about the veterans.
veterans.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a different pool than Social Security. They have a completely different pension.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what we're
Similar
saying-
to
we're
Rome,
saying.
right? You have a completely different
But
pension.
it is a pension. And so if we were to, as civilians, we adopt what the government's doing for the soldiers, right? You'd be much better off. How much do you think that we need to actually have a really solid retirement plan? How much, if we were to put a certain percentage into our retirement plan, and at the time of retirement would be okay?
But it's similar. The difference is that the soldiers, the life of the soldier, lifespan of the soldier is a lot shorter than the civilian.
Sure.
Because of the risk, right?
Right.
That's why you serve for 20 years, you get a pension, regardless of your retirement. You can be
20 years.
Yes,
That's-
you're 40, but you gotta pay the price.
good.
Yeah,
That's
in
good.
America, it's 20 years
That's
of
very
service.
good.
You have the full
You,
benefits.
you gotta pay the price. I mean, if you're willing to pay the price, that's a
Early
reward.
retirement. So if you go in at 20 or 18, 20, right?
If you survive 20
40
years,
At 40, you're good to go.
41, you're retired.
right? If you survive 20 years, that's the pension, right? And that's the expense. Now, through those 20 years, their income is not a lot. It's very little, right? Now, their expenses are not a lot because usually they're in base, right? They provide food, shelter, and things like that while working. So the ones that are very smart with their money, right, they get to do very well. The other ones, I mean, you got to think about, right? They are exposed to high pressure environments, right?
Right.
They need to, they need a way out per se.
Right,
They need to lay it out, so they waste money on some different things. But again, there are vets. They pay the price. They have very good pensions. Yes, there is no doubt about it. But it's not different than the Social Security. It's a different type of annuity. It's a different pot, correct?
Every veteran I spoke to, they have some sort of annuity already set up.
Yeah.
Already. Now, I wonder, are they speaking to, is the government providing them with a financial advisor like day one? Or
Why
are
they
seeking
should.
them out? What's that?
Why they should?
Why should they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to make sure that they take their reoccurring income from the government and maximize it, right?
I mean, there are organizations out there that they help with education, but at the end of the day, it's like that's personal, right? It's like
Is the government offering like a side service for a financial advisor, or are they seeking them out on their own? Because they all have. I mean, a lot. The ones I speak to, they have annuities already set up. Now, why is that?
Well, veterans, they have a network of insurance agents.
correct.
I happen to be friend of one of those agents.
Aha.
And the guy only serves the veterans pool. They have special licenses. They have training different to the common insurance agent. They specialize in veterans.
Yes,
And in that specialization is
Specialty.
what
So
comes-
day one, right? Maybe
what do you mean?
they talk to them, and
they
of
get
course,
enlisted, or when they
No,
sign
no,
up?
no, no. It's just a service, like for example, like Fraternal Order of Knights of Columbus and things like that. They have groups of people that they come in and they speak, so they have access to that, right?
Also they
Same
have
thing, the
access to
banking
insurance,
system. You know,
normally.
like if you're military and you're gonna get a loan, you're gonna get way better rates than any civilian.
Yeah.
oh yeah, my father.
And the credit unions that have
Well,
better
the,
systems.
What is it? Federal Navy?
Yeah.
Navy Federal.
Maybe federal.
Federal, yeah,
Federal.
it's one of them.
Correct, one of them. So.
Well known.
And they should be, because I mean they're the one who put their neck on the line. They're the one who brought the service. So it's all given, and it's all given. It's all earned, right? They pay the price for that. So that
So they can
being-
take those monies and buy them a piece of property at a very low interest rate, which gives them
Oh,
the
our
opportunity to-
interest rates that we
You remind me.
yeah.
You remind me of some regulations, some federal regulations about the stocks and securities that say more risk, more benefit, less risk, less benefit.
Yeah, you're risking your life. That
Yeah,
these are the
exactly.
benefits for it.
Well,
right?
career
That's
is
simple.
what?
Like if
Wait,
I
how long is
fighters or
career?
policemen.
Is 20 year a career, or is it like 10 years a career?
20 years to get.
You're talking about the contracts.
Right.
They vary between 2 and 4
Correct.
years. But if you renew your contract up to the point of 20 years, as Andres said, then you have full benefits.
Yeah, full
But
benefits.
some people are very comfortable and they stay for 30 years. Or
Some
whatever
people
years.
just love it and stay there and just keep going. But
Oh, yeah.
at 20 years, you get your pension, and that's fine. And you can get your pension, and you can go on the civil life, and also accumulate your credits and collect Social Security. So you
Yes.
can get Social Security and you still get your pension.
So, people, imagine if you were to adopt what the government do for their soldiers, how well off you'll be in 20 years.
But
If
it's
you
a
start
different
young.
system.
But what you're saying is everybody go and,
Different
play,
system.
and be a soldier.
No, I'm saying they can talk to me, and I'll
But
get them. I'll get them set up.
You're
So
talking
in
about
20
an
years they can
annuity.
retire young.
that's different. But the difference is like their pension, they don't have access to the capital. It's just they just get a payment for life. So it's called a Tinton, right?
Yeah.
So they're all structured annuities. It's just a payment for life. Social Security is no different than that, right? It's a payment for life. Now, something that is very unique and most people don't see is
Those
that
are both distribution systems.
correct.
What I was talking before was accumulation system,
Yeah.
which is like the Roth IRA, the IRA, the SEPs, SCPs, or the student plans, or many other plans that are available.
Right.
Correct.
Those are
529.
accumulation. You accumulate. In those systems that you cite, they are distribution. You pay a tax or whatever, and they promise a certain
Correct.
payment to the future.
The only difference, the big difference, and what makes Social Security very unique, right, above any other pension, any other investment vehicle, is the ability to adjust to inflation without downside risk.
That's warranted by law.
So it's guaranteed premium by law, but in addition to that, it adjusted to inflation.
Yes.
So, like for example, I got a case, right? Somebody who he could retire 67, but he delayed it, right? He's delaying it, and in 2022, right? What happened with inflation in 2022?
Yep.
It went up, 10 something, right?
Right, it was like 9
High.
point something percent. So it was 9% inflation adjusted, plus because he delayed it, right? It was another 8%. So he got 17% adjustment in 1 year on his delay.
Because he delayed the
Correct.
because when you delay up to 70, you get a 20% bonus, right?
It's right now
72,
because it's 67. It's 124% of your pension.
Yeah. So if you have to get $100 at 67, you will get
124.
124.
Correct.
But what happens if you take it at 62?
You get 70% of your check.
So 30% less.
So it's a very
Not a
unique
good
system
idea.
because people have to be very cautious, right? And very do the due diligence before they claim their Social Security. And people are like, oh, I want to claim it right now because I might not live, or what if I die? What if? And well, what if you live too long?
If you live too long, you outlive your money. Exactly.
Correct. And that's what happens most of the time. So on average, the retiree leaves on the table between $100,000 to $150,000 in their lifetime retirement cycle
If they don't collect when?
because they collect too early.
Because
Right.
But there is a system, right? So for example, we use a system it's a software, right? And based on longevity, household income, husband and wife, right? It tells exactly the breaking point where they need to collect. And every person is different. It's never the same. Sometimes waiting too long to 70 is not the best strategy. Sometimes they might losing money, right? So
If they're in a different tax bracket, right?
yeah.
Higher.
that has to do with it too, but also incomes, lifetime expectancy is very important as well, and how income distributions comes in. So the strategy on how you start acquiring monies when you hit in retirement is everything.
I always tell people, I was like, hey, if you needed 2, 3 incomes to survive the economy currently where you're working, imagine what you need when you retire. Right?
It
You're
changes.
relying
Though.
on Social
It changes
Security.
because most of them, like for example, when you on your productivity years, right? You typically you have a mortgage, right? Typically, you have kids that you have to send to college, right? But when you retire, your kids already left home, hopefully, right? And your home is already paid off.
Well, but you still have to pay property tax. And there's no telling how much it is based on the property, right?
But
Everybody's
no,
situation is
it's
different.
just based on the state where you are. Like here, I see people complaining when they're like, "Oh my god!" Like new homes right now, for example, property tax in Nevada is around 5,200. Insane! Are you crazy?
What?
Well, try
So
to
what,
pay
like what?
property taxes on a 200-year-old home that is 20 grand a year.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry.
True. So
How is possible?
Is Social Security going to take care of that?
I know.
This is a wide topic. And for you, my friends, $1 you pay to Andres. Andres has to pay tax for that. He gives me the same dollar bill to me, and I have to pay income tax. And I give it to Sapco, he has to pay income tax. With all the taxation you suffer on your hard-earned money, you buy a house, guess what?
You have
have
to
to
pay
pay
taxes.
tax forever.
lose it.
That tax, the
lose
sales
that property.
tax, income tax,
In a tax lien auction.
those are immoral. Those are
Brutal.
The other day you talk about the natural law of God. This is disgusting. The same dollar is taxed every time change hands.
That's right.
Finally, you save. You put all
It's
your
genius.
hard labor in it. You buy your house, and guess what?
Who came
Now
up-
the government
What-
will send you a bill
I know.
every year.
Which financial strategist
For
came
your
up with this
property.
taxation
I know.
system? It's
But
genius.
you know what? It's funny because I mean, at the end of the day, I feel very blessed to be here, guys.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
telling you,
Of course.
Because when I see how it is in other places,
Oh my God!
Yeah.
so there's some
This is
places
very
that they
true.
charge you like 4,000. So I'm sorry, for every 4,000. So for every 1,000 pesos, right? It's not dollars. You get a tax on it. For every 4,000 you make, I'm sorry, you get 1,000 that you have to pay.
25% tax. You're talking.
And that's also on transactions. So if you move money to the account,
Yes.
right? You have to pay that.
25%.
That's why,
That's
respectfully.
crazy.
No.
On
That's
top
why,
of all the other taxes.
That's
So,
why-
and I'm talking about with people that their average income is like not even like $800 a month,
Well
and
done,
they
you.
get taxed an extra 25% on the money they receive. So, again, we're very blessed where we at. you
No,
know?
of course.
Because we see the money that is being taxed at work right? You see it in the property, you see it on the infrastructure,
Oh, yes.
right? Building roads,
Yes.
things like that.
we need to be citizens of Croatia.
Croatia. Why?
Why?
Low tax. Very, very low tax.
Or we can come back to
Yeah.
the healthy. We can come back to the healthy America before 1913, when they
Yeah.
passed the income tax, was going to be, in theory, just temporary. The inventor of the income tax, Mr. David Ricardo,
Uh-huh.
in the British Parliament, argued in favor of the income tax to fight the Napoleonic Wars, a measure that was going to be temporary. Well, since then, never was abolished. The problem,
Why
what you're
will
saying,
they? Why
what
will
we're
they?
saying-
Right?
What you're saying there
Uh-huh.
is exactly. There are countries that some of my friends, I don't share that view, but some of my friends call it banana countries, in which, of course, why they are banana countries? Why people don't want to invest in those countries? Taxation is immoral. 20%, 25. I've seen 70%.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
70%.
I've seen 70% taxation. For example, in South America, to give an example, if you produce a car in Brazil, you have to pay 5% taxes before you export that car. In Argentina, the same car, you have to pay 15%. Federal government, 1%, 2%. The provinces and communities and municipalities make for the other 10, 13%.
Yeah.
Then you cannot export a car.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
you don't have to go too far.
You cannot give employment.
Even in the United States, in the 50s, right, early 50s, what will happen is if your income was over 250,000 for every dollar you earned, you were taxed 95 cents.
Well, but be careful, because the system, that it is true what you say, it is true. The deductions you can make on that single dollar were humongous. So the effective rate of taxation during the 50s was no more than 30%. Because one thing is the tax rate, and the other is the effective
Tax rate, yeah, correct.
which is something, of course, that here
That's different.
guys, our expert can tell you.
But that being said, again, so I mean, we talk about taxation, we talk about Social Security, right?
Then on top of that, we're getting laid off, huh?
Oh, there you go.
Then on top of all the taxes and the Social Security, mumbo jumbo, right? We're getting laid off by the boatload. So, well, not me, but people in general are getting laid off, and it's insane. And
Really?
it's a fearful thing, right? To see people, get laid off because crime goes up, right? So people want to get their pitchfork and blame somebody.
Well, I mean, how was it last data unemployment?
Last unemployment, well, where we're at?
4.2, 4.3?
Somewhere along those lines, right?
Let us
And so
see.
you need you needed to be 6% before we're in a complete inflationary, right? Oh, I'm sorry, recession.
Depends, not necessarily. Inflation is not related to the labor market, is always, at all times, anywhere, all the time, a monetary phenomenon.
We're at 4.3% right now.
4.3%. And
It's
I
not
think
that bad.
that's they're not.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Because they take a lot of loopholes when it comes down to that. If you have a part-time job, there you go, right? You're good to go, right? And and most people with a part-time job, they're not taking care of themselves with a part-time job.
Well,
Right?
we are entering a very, very
Dark place.
problematic
I
topic.
Great.
think that there is many ways in this great nation to generate income.
Oh, yeah.
You can choose to be an employee. You can hustle. You can do from Uber. So, I mean, you can do many things.
Oh,
Right.
thousands. This is a great country.
Now, the
full of
question is not
opportunity.
like what you want to do, is what you're willing to do. That's the key.
That is a dark
So you talk about
place.
crime. Crime are those who are not necessarily desperate, but they're not willing to do the hard work. They're just looking for the easy way out.
Well,
Choice.
And that exists all over the country, right? Not in the United States. It's all over the world. You're always going to find some type of crime. Even in like countries like, for example, even Switzerland. They might do it just for the sport because they have a great economy, right? Just because they're bored or whatever.
well, they used to have a great economy. We can talk about that sometime.
Yeah, another day, right? But it's great.
Let me cite a great thinker, somebody that I admire profoundly, Larry Elder.
Okay.
Great thinker. He always said that if you finish high school in America, if you don't get pregnant before getting married, right? there's, and if you want to work, of course, and study, put the time and the effort, there is no way in America you do bad. At least you will have a roof, food, and education. In other words, if you want to put the effort into work, study, and you don't get pregnant before married or before your 20s, let's say, there will be no problem here. That's the greatness of this country. This is the best country on the face of the earth.
Yep.
And of course, I will have problems after saying this. And somebody will tell me, what is the second? I reserve my opinion. But Argentina. The best country, but it's for sentimental purposes.
Sure.
Not practical purposes. This is a country in which you can do whatever you want if you want to work and study. Of course, as Andres said, you can take the easy exit. In any country, you can take the easy exit. But in some countries, it's almost a necessity.
Work part-time.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got to work a lot these days, and you better be valuable. You better have your education up to par, and you better learn AI, guys. You better.
I mean, yeah. I'm
They are
not sure about
predicting
that.
most jobs, most white-collar jobs, are going to be gone by 2020. and
Yeah.
30.
Oh,
but
yeah.
but a lot of the technical jobs are
Blue collar, yeah, they'll be there.
are the ones who are going to flourish, right?
Right.
Because air maintenance, electricians, you name all those things.
True.
Great, and you don't need a 4-year college. I know some of them. Then they make 7 figures doing the business.
Oh, yeah.
So you just gotta find out where you fit, right? I get it. Everybody wants to look nice, pretty, right, with a tie, and pretend they make $1 million. But it's not for everybody.
Not necessarily.
No.
Plumbers,
It can't be very
plumbers,
right.
they make an average of the entry for a plumber is $40,000. You might say it's nothing, but as the career evolve, you can easily
It's
go
huge.
to
Six figures.
70, 80,000.
Yeah.
Electricians, locksmiths,
figures.
mechanics.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to study
Yeah.
and put the effort, there you are. There
Correct.
you are.
Very
Correct.
true.
And the system allows it because we have a fluid economy. We are a capitalist country, almost. We're a free market economy, almost. And
An economy that is
the
evolving,
taxation,
right?
the taxation is relatively low, right? So that makes
Depending on
the
your tax
great
background.
American system
Depending on
what
how
it
much
is.
money you make.
Yeah.
And you can choose. The great advantage also that we are the United States. So every state has rules and regulation, and you can move if you don't like your state, where there is less taxation. For example, if you don't like the obscene taxation in California, okay,
Get out.
get out of there. You have Idaho, you have Arizona, Nevada, Kentucky, Florida.
You know,
man.
somebody told me over the weekend. The gentleman told me, I was having breakfast with him. He said that some gas stations near the rich area in California, $10 a gallon.
Oh yeah, go to YouTube. You can see it. Go to.
I was like, what? But it's just targeted like on the very wealthy neighborhoods. $10 an hour. Like, whoa. God bless America.
Well,
That's
the
amazing.
California
It's
case
crazy.
is emblematic.
Yeah.
I was doing a study for a client last week, and he said me why the gas is always more expensive in California. First, they close a couple of refineries in the last 10 years. They do not extend permits to refinery. You cannot drill in California, and also the component of tax in every gallon of gas is obscene.
Also the transportation, because most of the gas comes
But
from
this is
the
funny
East
thing.
Coast.
This is the funny thing.
Right? So it just gets you.
Some gas stations years ago tried to display to the customers the taxation content of every gallon. In California, you can't. You cannot show the consumer, you, and you, how much of your price per gallon is pure city tax, county tax, state tax. If people would know the amount of taxes in California have to pay for every gallon of gas, we will see soon pitchforks and torches.
Well,
in the-
that's one of the things that many entrepreneurs
Californians,
have been
keep
companies they
voting
just
when you
left,
vote.
right? Like you got Tesla, you got the Uber. He just left too as well. When you tax the people who provide employment up to the neck, they're gonna leave. It's normal.
Exactly.
It's part of it.
I had a client that told me that he was on his way to Cambodia.
Where?
Cambodia.
Cambodia?
Cambodia.
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 Cambodia, the country next to Laos.
Indeed, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So he said that the exchange rate is 44 to 1. I was like,
What is?
No, my country is
Wow.
3,800 to 1.
3,800.
But don't be
Yeah.
don't be deceived by nominal numbers.
Yeah.
What is the real stretch of a dollar? There is an index you can go to internet. McDonald's, no, sorry, Big Mac index was a great index because it measured the real cost of living country by country. So, since they have the same components, the Big Mac in every country, if in that country they have McDonald's, most of them, then you can compare the cost of living, how much it costs to live in Bucaramanga, Colombia, or in Buenos Aires, Argentina, or in Cambodia, just by looking at the differential in the index. So if you buy a Big Mac here for how much? I don't know, $5, let's say.
$6.
$6. Well, those $6,
Buys you there.
what they buy for you in those countries.
Like, for example, in Colombia, it's like $3, half of it.
Well, that means, my
but
friends,
with 1/4 of the
simple.
earnings.
Well, that's the whole point. If the Big Mac in Colombia is $3, just for the sake of argument, that means that your standard of living in Colombia with your dollars will be double. You can do double
Yeah.
the amount of
If you earn in I mean that's something actually that is happening in one of the cities called Medellin, right? It's a beautiful city, but it has great weather. So now they have to restrict the rentals for people from other countries,
Right.
because they were, after COVID, they realized, okay, now I can work remotely. They moved there. They rented all these
You'll see all foreign
beautiful
people, that's it.
apartments for 1/4 of the cost. They pack in the rest, and that is also causing real estate over there to just like
Fluctuate, go higher.
supply and demand.
almost people, the locals now, they can afford it because of that reason. So now to protect it, they're like, wait, we need to restrict
Big mistake,
that.
in my opinion.
Wasn't that
to
the whole thing in
protect-
Mexico too?
What's
What's that?
Wasn't that the whole thing in Mexico too? That why they
Many,
were
many cities.
many
You have
cities, many
I have
cities.
I have an acquaintance. He's an investor advisor. He's an insurance agent, and he lives in Tenerife, Canarias. And basically, he's living over there is, let's say, 2/3 of like in America. For every $100 you have to spend here, over there you have to spend 75. And the guy runs everything online. Everything online.
Yeah.
He interviews clients. He does everything online.
everything remote.
Remote.
Right. And so, military, right? What do they do when they retire? They get out of here. They go to the Philippines, Thailand, right?
Yeah, some of them. they
Some of
do.
them.
Dominican
Yeah.
Republic, right? Places like that.
I have friends who retired in Biloxi, Mississippi, just because it's a very affordable place to live.
Yeah.
Mississippi,
Yeah.
Alabama.
It used to be where you would
They
go
moved
to
to
Florida
Nevada.
because
They moved to Nevada.
Florida was very
Yeah,
inexpensive.
I know.
Well,
several
there
in
is
Nevada.
there's something that you have to count with the military, okay? So they get free healthcare. So they're always going to be around bases or VA centers
That's why
because they need to
Biloxi-
get treatment.
Biloxi has a
Right.
huge-
They have
humongous
some,
Air
take
Force
advantage of the
base.
VA medical.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, guys. So hopefully you found this informative and entertaining. We leave you and we'll see you next week. Put your comments below. Let us know your thoughts about Mr. Faces here.
Yeah, you have here the mediator and Monsignor. Just talk to them.
So we'll see you next
my
week with
God.
Edmundo, Sav, con Andres. Stay tuned for more Market Boys, guys.
See you next
time.
week.
See you next week.